To start our topic of screening for services, we are first going to take a look at the purpose of the screening process. According to the 12 core functions, the general purpose is to determine eligibility for treatment services and which level of care is most appropriate for the client. During a screening appointment, the provider will get an initial snapshot of the client, how substances are currently impacting their life, and from there make a determination on the level of care that would provide the best opportunity for recovery success. During the screening process, the most important information to capture is how substances and addiction are currently impacting the client's life. This doesn't mean we avoid asking about past issues. It is just important to focus mostly on the present during the screening process, as this is what we will use to determine what type of treatment and the level of care that would be most beneficial for the client given their current circumstances and need. When conducting a screening, the following process and steps can be helpful to know. The first step is with introducing yourself and creating a welcoming environment. This will go a long way in helping the client open up to an extent that they share the information you need to make your best clinical determination for their service needs. To do this, it is important to try and make the client feel as comfortable as possible using your client engagement skills. In addition, it is important to walk the client through exactly what will take place during the screening appointment and ask if they have any initial questions. For many clients, it is their first time in treatment services, and ensuring that they understand the process can help increase their sense of trust and feeling comfortable. From there, depending on the agency and screening tools that are used, you will complete the screening form based on the information that is provided, make your initial clinical impressions for the level of care needed, and collaborate on the final service plan. When discussing the client's current situation and treatment needs, you will generally be asking questions in the following areas. First, the reason for making the appointment. Here, you will gather more information on why the client made the appointment. From there, using the agency's screening tool, you will ask about substance use patterns, giving priority to the current situation. Here you will talk with the client and get information on how their use in the addiction is impacting various life areas such as relationships, work, and home life. In addition to obtaining the impact addiction has had on various life areas, it is also important to gather information on the client's level of motivation to seek and enroll in treatment services. This is where using the stages of change model as discussed in class can be useful to the provider. Likewise, identifying what the client thinks might be helpful is valuable. While you will be making the final determination for services, asking the client's view in this area goes a long way in fostering a collaborative relationship. As I mentioned, depending on the agency and the type of screening, it is common to use some type of screening tool. There are a wide variety of options available and used, and I have broken down the types of screening tools into two categories: self-report based and where some training is needed. Self-report focuses mostly exclusively on the client gauging their use. Screening tools requiring some training, such as the ones listed here, offer more provider involvement and determination. I have included examples of different screening tools both for adults and teens in this week's folder. Feel free to review the different tools provided. For our focus, we are going to look more in-depthly at one screening tool called the Wisconsin UPC. This is a screening tool developed in Wisconsin and used frequently throughout many counties. While it is not the only screening tool used in the state, it is one that you will find in many different agencies. Before looking at the UPC format, I wanted to provide some background information on this tool. First, it was developed to create a common set of standards for providers working in Wisconsin. This was developed to help foster good working partnerships and to help ensure that clients were receiving consistency in their treatment services. With the UPC, providers are given the same screening criteria, which helps with making consistent decision-making and treatment service determination. The UPC can be used for initial placement of services, and it can also be used when a client needs to be transferred or referred to either a higher or lower level of care. In addition, the UPC worked hard to create some flexibility for providers when making final service plans. The UPC made an effort to include factors such as what levels of care are available to clients, what services they can access without unnecessary hardship, and what service plan would foster the possibility for a successful treatment outcome. The UPC continues to be used today due to the positive evaluation studies that have been done, as well as provider feedback related to its effectiveness. In the next PowerPoint, we will take a closer look at the components of the UPC and how to use it in a screening appointment.